All right, here we're going to learn how to do a density problem with dimensional analysis. So in the past, you may have remembered that density is mass over volume. And so if you had, in this case, the mass and the density, you could do some algebra and solve for volume and do that. But we're not going to do that in this video. We're going to look at this in another way, basically as a conversion. So initially, we're starting with grams, and our goal is to get to liters. So we want to find a way from grams to liters. So here's what we're going to do. This density tells us that there's 13.6 grams, and it's implied that that's for every 1 milliliter. So that is a conversion we can now use. So that's going to get us some grams to milliliters. And then we know a way to get from milliliters to liters using metric conversion. So this is going to be a two-step conversion. And so we're going to go through this process. So I've already got the grams to milliliters checked here. Now, what's the milliliter-liter connection? Remember, liters are bigger. So we say, okay, 1 liter equals, and we think about our metric prefixes. It's 3 steps from liters to milli. So there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use this to do my conversion. So I initially have 22,000 grams. And like I said, I'm first converting to milliliters. So I'm taking my density. And because I want to cancel grams, I'm putting 13.6 grams in the bottom and 1 milliliter up top. And then because I want to get to liters, I'm then going to put 1,000 milliliters on bottom to cancel milliliters and 1 liter on top. And then that'll get me my answer. So if I go through and do the math on this now, I then get that there are about 1.6, and I'm rounding a little bit, liters of mercury will have this mass. So that is how we use density in a fence post. So if I'm, basically just taking this and putting it in here as a conversion. Let's see a more difficult one. So in this situation, I am asked, I have meters cubed, and I'm trying to find the mass. So I have a big tank that is a certain volume, meters cubed, and I want to find out how many kilograms are in there. And so once again, I have a connection that says that for every, there's 0.7 grams or 0.70 grams for every 1 milliliter. So that's going to give me a connection between grams and milliliters. So where does that fit in this path from meters cubed to kilograms? Well, grams is similar to kilograms, and we know there's a connection we can make between those. And we now have a connection here to get to milliliters. But how do we get from meters cubed to milliliters? And so one thing that we need to know is that 1 milliliter is the same as a centimeter cubed. That is just a definition of volume. So if you take a centimeter cubed, that is what a milliliter is. So I can get here from milliliters cubed to centimeters cubed, and then I have a connection between meters cubed and centimeters cubed. So this is going to be a 4-step process we have to go through. So I have this right here that covers me here. And then what's between kilograms and grams? We know that for every 1 kilogram, there are 1,000 grams. If you're not sure how we know that, go and look at the metric video. So that covers this conversion. We know that 1 milliliter equals 1 centimeter cubed. That covers this. And now what's the relationship between meters cubed and centimeters cubed? So I go into this a little more detail on the area volume video, but let's just play this out. So 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. That is the basic metric unit. But a meter cubed, in order to figure this out, I have to cube both sides of this equation. And so 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter is 1 meter cubed. And 100 times 100 times 100 gives me 1,000,000. One more 0. Centimeters cubed. And so this is my last thing. So this is all the work I had to do to get myself ready. I'm going from meters cubed to kilograms, and I need to have a conversion for each step. So I've got the conversion here for this one. I've got the conversion here for here. I've got the conversion up here using density for this, and I've got the conversion here. So now let's start this process. I've got 45 meters cubed. That's the tank. So then I want to convert to centimeters cubed. So there's 1,000,000 centimeters cubed. And then I want to cancel centimeters cubed. So for every 1 centimeter cubed, there's 1 milliliter. That's just the definition. And then using the density, every 1 milliliter is 0.70 grams. I'm using this up here. And then I want to say for every 1,000 grams, there is 1 kilogram. And then I just multiply this all out, and I get my final answer. which comes out to about 31,500 kilograms. And again, I'm not paying a lot of attention to sig figs here. I should probably round that to 32,000 to sig figs, but anyway, that's the process. So this is just another tool. Density is just another way to get from one type of unit to another. In this case, it's a way to get from a mass to a volume, because otherwise you can't convert grams to milliliters. They're very different types of units. But that's it. So we just use dimensional analysis, and that gets us through this problem. And that's the process. So try some practice with this, see how you do. Until next time, I am Derek Genova. Have a delightful day.